Hello everyone. Let's see if I can zoom this in just a little better. This video won't be very long. I'm just want to show you everything I did with this suite, the Gathering Moments suite. These are all the components that came with the suite. This was the designer series paper, and then I showed the coordinating cardstock that went with all the paper. It's beautiful paper. Can you see there's some gold inflections in there? It's really pretty. You know, the suite comes with the dies. And then this is the embossing folder that I did some cards with that I'll show you in a moment. And I apologize if you come on live. I struggle with seeing comments. Then this was the stamp set. Fun little sayings. I mean, I realize a lot of people don't do Thanksgiving cards, but they don't have to necessarily be for Thanksgiving. They could be appreciation, you know, just things like that for people you want to know. So let me start with first, if you go back to one of my original posts, I talked about just using stamps, ink, and paper, and a little bit of twine that came with the set. And these were where we just kind of stamped the outer edges of the cards just to create your own little, kind of like your own designer's paper. So it was just real easy, just kind of stamped around the edges. I did a little bit of blending with a blending brush there. These were all the fun cards we made, and I tied some twine around there. And then the next day I talked about taking a sheet of just plain cardstock, and I scored mine down the center on both sides, and then I just stamped along the score lines to create my own designer's paper, and then I just cut it on the score lines. And these are the cards that I ended up making. So I did add some extra elements of products that I had on hand. You by no means you need additional product. You could just use this whole suite. If you wanted to stamp your sentiment, you know, on something different, you could just cut out a square, rectangle. So this is one of the cards I made. Here's another one, and on this one I just took a little my blending brush and just darkened the edges and tied a little bow with some of the twine. Used some more twine here. Then I took a square and just backed it up with some of the designer series paper from the suite. Then this one was kind of fun. This is that big leaf that you saw on the die set that you can stitch, and I stitched it up and made a little sentiment for it. Okay. Now the other day I watched a video from a fellow demonstrator, Mary Nabe, and she takes a sheet of just the 12 by 12 designer series paper, and I watched her video, and I was able to make 16 cards from one sheet of designer series paper. Of course, I was using other products, but let me show you the cards. So this is using that embossing folder, and we just took the designer series paper and matted it a couple times. In this particular cut of the designer series paper, I was able to make 3 cards like this. Okay. We made another card. Just cut a strip of the designer series paper, backed it with some gold foil, stamped the ascent. This particular, excuse me, die cut is from the Peace on Earth. So that we only made one with that one. Then we took our circle punches, stamped a little sentiment with one of the leaves from the stamp set, another piece of the designer series paper. In this particular case, we were able to make 3 of these. Okay. Then she took some little squares of the designer series paper. We cut out this just out of a strip of olive green cardstock, backed it with some gold, banner cut the edge wrapped some twine around, and we made 2 cards in this style. And we also took we took that embossing folder and the leaf, we die cut the leaf from the die set, embossed it with that embossing folder, added another piece of DSP, a little bow with the twine. We made 1 like that. And then one more set. This time we just used a little strip of Designer Series paper. This particular one was from the Modern Oval Punch, but then we just cut this out and banner cut it. This particular one made 6 like this. So all in all, I ended up with 16 cards from 1 sheet of Designer Series paper. How's that isn't that fun? I don't know how these demonstrators think this stuff up, but yep. These are all the cards we made from 1 sheet Designer Series paper. And that happened to be, which page was it? It was this one here. Use that page. And this is the one that we backed one of the other. But there's so many other possibilities you could do with this suite. I love this plaid. I'm going to come up with something to do with that. But that's all I wanted to share with you today, is just all the cards I could make out of this suite of products. If you're interested in anything more from that, let me know. Don't forget, today we also have free shipping. What is today? Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it's for 3 days. Free shipping on any orders over $75 before shipping, tax, and coupons. So make sure your subtotal is $75. You get free shipping. And don't forget, we also have our join special going on. I would love for you to be on my team. And trust me, you don't have to come on here and go live and do videos. Just have fun stamping. We could get together online. If you live near me, you could come to my house and we'd stamp $125 worth of product for $35. I mean, that's quite the deal. Maybe later today I'll make a small post showing you what $125 worth of product could be. But then if you wanted a little more, how about spending $99 and getting $189 worth of product? I mean, this would really set you up to get started making beautiful cards just in time for the holidays, because my next batch of cards I'm going to be showing you are for the holidays. I have some fun stuff coming up that I can't wait to show you. Other than that, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Have a great day.